What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are rocking with these quarterback rankings. Once again, I wanted to give you guys a little bit more of an infographic type of thing, just a little bit more fun in general, just having a little bit more of something to look at than the damn TDN mock draft sheets and stuff. So obviously wanted to make this a little bit more fun, a little bit more informational. Obviously the numbers, teams, everything expected to change with free agency. So I just want to get you guys this out because I'm doing a back and forth mock tonight with that franchise guy, Marcus Whitman. So be tuned for that one because it should be coming out tomorrow. I'm absolutely ecstatic for it. It's going to be back and forth, the AFC, NFC, where I'm going to be controlling the AFC teams, guys. So enjoy it. We're going to be having a great time tonight, but I want to give you guys something to look at today, something fun. I already recorded this once and the file corrupted again. So dealing with these problems with Zoom, of course, wonderful. Yes, I do know how to use Zoom. I'm not an idiot. I've been using it since the beginning. But let's start off this draft. If you guys are new, hit like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. We're trying to get 3K by draft day. So about 2 months from now, actually under 2 months from now, I believe we want to be able to reach that 2K mark. I mean, that 3K mark, and we're just past 2K. So share this with all your friends. Make sure we get a full family going. Join the Discord. We got over 70 people now. Absolutely wonderful. We have a really thriving community there. And we're doing a fan mock in 4 weeks. So, or 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? It's 3 or 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's 3 weeks. It's the week of March 28th. So that sounds like 4 weeks, guys. So 4 weeks from now, we are going to be doing another fan mock. So make sure to jump on in. Try to get a slot because right now we got 5 GMs a team. We're going to have a full draft room and everything. It's going to be fun. So without further ado, starting off with the number 1 quarterback on my list, we got Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, do we need to talk about him too much? No, he is amazing. You got him 6'6", 310 to 330 pounds, depending on, of course, whether he has a shoulder surgery at a pro day or else he'll be actually bulking up probably a little bit in the NFL. Solid athleticism. Doesn't do anything like eye droppingly, like not eye dropping, like mouth dropping, like jaw dropping. That's what I was trying to say. And then eye popping. He just does stuff so well at a very consistent rate. He's an excellent quarterback. I don't think that he's going to have these flashy plays like Patrick Mahomes, but I don't believe that he's going to have some negative plays like we see with some of these guys who are very, very, very talented and get a little too cocky with like their arm angles and stuff, which we'll talk about very soon. I think that Trevor Lawrence, very similar to Andrew Luck, is going to be a very high-end quarterback, probably top 6, top 5, very consistently throughout his entire career. Could get a gold jacket if he survives that long and if he actually plays to the level that he should. And you know what? That's going to be great. That's a great selection. You won't be getting a guy similar to Patrick Mahomes where he's going to light up the league on fire. But you look at Justin Herbert, you see how he played this year. I think Trevor Lawrence could do a little bit better than that. And Justin Herbert did an amazing job. So Trevor Lawrence, again, he brought like a pretty mediocre Clemson team that obviously we're so used to them being good now because Dabo had Deshaun Watson there as well. These two quarterbacks have brought Clemson from nothing to national champion contenders every year. Like there's a reason these guys elevate their rosters. They do a very good job at it. So I'm a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. If you guys looked at last year's class, I loved Joe Burrow and I gave him potential 91. So I think that the arm strength's better, the mobility is better, processor not as good. So that leads me to around a 94 on that impact. He's going to have a great day 1 impact. And the overall score will be lower than Joe Burrow's because I have no idea what the hell I was doing with my ranking system last year. It's 2 times impact, 1 potential. Divide that shit by 3, just to average it out because I think that impact matters a little bit more than potential right now, but we need to factor it in. Definitely. Obviously, my comp from Andrew Luck is super solid guy. First overall on my board, and I think that this is a hybrid of what I think and what should happen in the draft. And then my prediction for him is the Jaguars. So I'm pretty sure everybody has that on their board. We're going to see if we can click through here. Obviously, you guys will be seeing some infographics and stuff similar to this, but that's okay. I don't think you guys come in here to have that franchise guy level of content. I just want to give you guys a fun infographic. Next, you got Zach Wilson. He is pretty much the opposite, not the opposite of Trevor Lawrence, but different in the fact that he's more flashy. Now, I said from a clean pocket, Zach Wilson's better. He has insane ball placement, like insane. The problem is sometimes up here, he has so much talent that he sometimes gets a little cocky with it. You'll see him do some weird shit like no look toss passes right into a defender's lap. It's just like sometimes you don't need to do that even if you can. So there's definitely some things like that. And the QB school definitely highlighted this quite a few times now through his a couple of videos on Zach Wilson. He doesn't seem to care too much about the health of his wide receivers. He definitely throws, they're called hospital balls, where you throw a pass to a guy, and in the old days where you could just lay the crap out of people, you'd send them to the hospital. Like, so it definitely in a more soft NFL that we care a little bit more about the health of our players, which is great for the long term. It's going to be great for Zach. So it's going to be better for the wide receivers as well. But it is still a concern because people can still get hurt. But that's okay. He's still amazing. You just see him and he's awesome. One thing to note, he has pretty weak arm strength, not throw power, arm strength. Throw power, I think, is a combination of form as well as leg power and arm power. You just see a lot of balls that he arms kind of die. If he doesn't do it with the correct form, you see on the run, if he has correct form, he can zip that shit. But when he's just arming it, it does not look like it comes off nearly as fast as the next two guys on this list. So that's my big concern with Zach. I think that he needs to have enough time to be able to set his feet in order to make an amazing throw, which he has very, very high chances of being able to do if he's able to do so. So that's my thing with him. Next, we got Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a beast. Do we need to talk about him? Yes, because he has some big problems as well. He definitely has some big upside. As you can see, he has the highest potential in the class, in my opinion, for the quarterback realm, because he has the best arm strength, arguably the best throw strength as well, but he has amazing downfield accuracy, really good downfield accuracy, and he has great mobility for his size, and he's a solid leader. He doesn't look like he's that much of an ass. He definitely doesn't look like he's the most high character guy in the world. I'm not going to say that about him, saying that he is a not very good character guy, but it just looks to me as if that could be a case. Something that's a little bit worrisome to me, because I personally know the nutritionist for Dwayne Haskins, and she said all about how he was kind of a stuck-up ass, and I was pretty low on Dwayne, and turns out he was an ass. So I'm not a huge fan of these Ohio State guys, but I mean, I'm an Ohio State fan, so you guys are hearing the truth from me. I think that Justin Fields, if he gets off his first read stuff, if he stops panicking when he's under pressure, he will be able to, he needs a good situation to be able to maximize his potential. Again, if he's able to develop that, he has good form, he has some really good flash of anticipation, I think that he will be able to just light it up. That's that's one red flag on Trevor, is he stares, number one, similar to Justin, but maybe a little bit different, he's a little bit better on it. But two, he doesn't throw too much with too much anticipation, Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields doesn't really that much either, but he has shown it. So that's my probably only concern really with Trevor, are those two things. But my comp for him, Sam Darnold. Somebody with a ton of potential, had a really good first year, kind of a fall off second year, a ton of talent, but could definitely turn to just be one of these mediocre bottom of the league guys if he can't get past that. And I think the perfect spot for him is the Falcons, where a guy like Matt Ryan, who will actually take it pretty well, he's going to be able to like coach him up and be able to just treat him in a way that can benefit Justin Fields in the long run. So I'm a big fan of that. I think that you guys should be too. Next, we got Trey Lance. So, Trey Lance is interesting. I've watched a lot of him. I watched him probably 3 times over now. I'm not a fan of him, but I can see why people are. He has a great arm strength. He has some good pocket awareness. He definitely has some amazing legs. And he's able to make some throws that are really, really good and some very high-end throws. The problem is they're extremely inconsistent. I think that his accuracy is pretty ballsy. Not ballsy, pretty bogus. It's like people saying that it's a little spotty. Like, dude, it's more spotty than a damn Dalmatian. Like, there's some place where it's like, what the hell? Where are you throwing, dude? But like, I think that if he's able to get his head right, he's able to probably process a little bit better. Does half field reads, very schemed, a very scheme open system in a pretty garbage conference, a pretty garbage league, to be honest, in the FCS. He can have some potential. People are talking about him as the next Josh Allen. I mean, every single person I've talked to said Josh Allen was better, especially in his rookie year. Josh Allen was not good a couple years ago, guys. People were saying, it's like, dude, Josh Allen wasn't that great. We might even think about drafting a quarterback to the Bills. But he did something that not really anybody has really done before. He changed his mechanics entirely. That's something you'll hear Aaron Rodgers say. You can throw a ball like 100,000 times a certain way, and you'll still throw it the way that you find most comfortable. So these people think that he could just make this jump like Josh Allen. It's to me a little bit ridiculous. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. I think people need to understand that it's not that easy. It's not that easy to change everything. But I think in a scheme where he's going to be able to learn from a good quarterback, that will be able to benefit him in the mental game. And then maybe he'll be able to fix up his form a little bit. I don't think he'll be able to do a full retool, but I think that he's a pretty good guy from what I've heard. I've heard that he's a pretty good work ethic type of guy. So I hope the best for him. I really do. I mean, my team prediction is the Panthers because I had him originally to the Patriots, but I talked to RJ Gillen, the head scout for the 49ers yesterday, and he said, dude, to be honest, like we're not going for a quarterback because we think all five are going to be gone. Like regardless of whether we actually wanted to pick one, all five are going to be gone in the top 10. Quoted from him. So that means I got to be adjusting this a little bit. I think the Panthers are going to be having to take him because they have a great option there in Teddy to be able to teach him up. We'll see what happens. I have him as actually as a second rounder, but combining with the top 10, I moved it to late first round. He's just so raw, man. That's why his impact grade's so low. But you see his potential. I'm telling you guys, he has a lot of potential. Next, we got Mac Jones. I mean, this is the guy who's just ready to start right now. He's going to be able to kick some ass. And I'm going to be honest. I think since Belichick is like interested in bringing Cam back, that's what the news is right now. I think the Bears, unless, of course, this is all going to change if like Russell Wilson goes to the Bears or something like that. This will definitely be indicative of free agency. But right now, I think the Bears are going to be like, dude, we can get a tackle in the second round, maybe the third round, like a Brady Christensen if we want to, or even in free agency, and then we could be pretty good. We can trade up right here, maybe give the first and then a third and maybe a second next year, and we can get a guy like Mac Jones who might be able to bring us to the Super Bowl because we have a good roster and all we need is someone who won't lose us the game. And Nick Foles is going to be a great mentor to a guy like Mac Jones. I don't like his DUI case at all. Really hate that. I think that that's something that could come back, but we got to just analyze him for who he is right now. And that was 4 years ago. But again, I'm not a huge fan of him ever since I heard about that. Wasn't really a fan of him too much when I watched every single throw he made. It's like he made some good throws, but a lot of balls that had to be adjusted to. Don't think his ball placement's that great. But again, did pretty good. He's going to be able to start day one. He just doesn't have that great of potential. I think he's going to be a Jimmy G type of guy. Have him as probably like a early second as well. And then I think the Bears are going to have to trade up for him just because they're going to be desperate. Next, we got Kyle Trask, one of my old guys, but as I grew as a scout, I realized I need to pretty much watch a little bit more in terms of the quarterback mechanics and stuff, and especially what's going on inside the helmet. But he's somebody who he goes on hot and cold streaks. So the idea of him being comped to Nick Foles, I don't know why I have just Foles there. That is perfectly fine because we see Nick Foles catch fire and he looks amazing, right? You look at him in Kyle Trask in the Alabama game, looks great. But then you have like entire seasons, like with the Bears, where it's just like he's pretty terrible. And that's the same thing with Kyle Trask. I think Kyle Trask definitely can be more hot when he has a lot of weapons like he does over there in Florida. But I think it's something that people are either extremely underrating or overrating is the fact that he actually can do it on his own. So I had him as a late first. I have him now as like a early to mid third just because of the potential. If he doesn't have the great mechanics, he doesn't have great arm strength, doesn't have great mobility, he's somebody who could step in and definitely just play if you need him to. I think he's going to go to the Saints, and he's an amazing option because if Jameis Winston doesn't work and he's having a bad game, Kyle Trask might be able to step in and be on fire and win you that game. So I'm a big fan of this. I'm really a big fan of this. So Kyle Trask being able to go to a team that can use him as a Foles role is wonderful. Next, we got Davis Mills out of Stanford. So I watched this might be a problem. I watched his best game. Like he was the one he popped off on tape to me when I was watching Elijah Molden and Keith Taylor for Washington. And I was like, damn, this Davis Mills guy looks really damn good. Looked on PFF and he had like a 92 grade that game and had pretty much worse ones in every other game. So a little bit skewed there. Obviously, time will be able to develop this, but I think that we've seen the flashes. That's very crucial to me. We've seen flashes of him being amazing and consistently amazing over an entire game, not doing questionable decisions like we'll see with our number 8 prospect, but he definitely has a lot of potential and people are underrating this guy quite a bit. I think that I have more of a round 4 grade on him. I think he'll go round 5 just because guys like this, he really didn't do anything crazy, but I think a perfect spot for him is the Titans. Being able to learn from Ryan Tannehill might be the best thing that will ever happen to this guy. And he might go to the Lions if they like a Jared Goff type of guy, similar to Davis Mills. But again, it's like I think that he'll be doing a pretty solid job. Stanford always has a pretty good offensive line, some solid weapons, and he takes advantage of it. So I like it a lot. I like Davis Mills quite a bit. Like I think that going to the Titans is going to be the best case scenario. Next, we got Kellen Mond to the Patriots. So I think that since Bill Belichick's going to lose out in the top 5, you wait a little bit. And Kellen Mond is somebody where he has some big red flags. He has a lot of very big question mark plays where I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? Has some plays where he's extremely inaccurate. He does have some good flashes, but it's not consistent flashes like a Davis Mills. So I think that if you use Kellen Mond like a worse Dak Prescott, a Jacoby Brissett, somebody who can basically sub in and use his legs if you need him to as well, he's pretty good with the run game, but he's not going to be able to just be a pure amazing passer to the point where you're going to be wanting to start him. This guy's going to be a career backup, but he's going to be definitely somebody who you can put in and he might be able to keep you in a game. He's not going to be doing a Chase Daniel and basically almost losing you a game or something. He's going to be able to just step in, keep the score relatively good, chew the clock with his legs, and then maybe make some good throws. As long as you keep the ball out of his hands from consistently throwing the ball, I think you'll be perfectly fine. And I think the Patriots are looking for that to develop under a guy like Cam Newton. I think since they're trying to build more of a running scheme, they can use Kellen Mond pretty well. This is the best spot for him in my mind in the entire league besides the Panthers. So it's like either I think Kellen Mond's going to the Panthers or the Patriots, or else we're having that. Oh, spoiler alert! We're having that with Trey Lance. So I'm a pretty big fan of. I'm a pretty big fan of this pick. So I think that it would be pretty solid overall. Next, we got Felix Franks at 9. This is a guy who this is just pure showing flashes. He has some hot streaks as well. Speaking of the Florida guys, we've just seen him. He's been pretty damn good throughout his entire career, starting at high school. He just hasn't been able to just put the pieces fully together. He has good enough arm strength, has solid enough accuracy. He just sometimes doesn't look good enough, but sometimes he looks great. It's just he's way too inconsistent. That's why he's going to be dropping. He seems like a guy who I was thinking about comping him to Mason Rudolph, I'm going to be honest. And that's perfect for the Steelers because it looks like they like drafting guys like that. So Felix Franks is definitely a huge project, but he's going to be able to step in and he has the juice to potentially be a solid quarterback. Probably won't even make a roster if we're going to be honest. Lastly, Jamie Newman. There are some guys like Sam Ehlinger, and then, of course, Shane Buechele, who could also step into this list. Even over, they could be better than those guys. Again, more tape that I'll study, the more this list could change. But Jamie Newman, this is all pure potential here. I comp him to Tyler Huntley just due to his athleticism. You know, he's not going to be running a 4.2, but he's going to be good enough to be able to extend plays and stuff. You saw in the Senior Bowl, he's a good check down type of guy. But I think that he is going to get absolutely destroyed in the NFL because, I mean, you can't be captain check down without being Alex Smith. And it's like you're not going to be captain check down with the Jamie Newman type of scheme. And to be honest, I think that he's a big project. He never really showed anything to me at Wake Forest. I did not like him at Wake Forest. And I'm not going to disrespect him for trying to protect his family during COVID at all. So I'm not going to disrespect him for not doing Georgia. But at Wake Forest, I did not think his talent was that great. So I comped him to Tyler Huntley, who I had a first round grade on when I first saw him, but obviously a guy who can be accurate when he wants to be, has good enough athleticism, and it should be on a team that can develop him a little bit, but he definitely has the potential to start. So my team prediction is a Lions where they don't need to get a quarterback for a little while. They can sit him. They're not in the mood to actually have to win. So this is a good spot for him just to sit, relax, and learn. So that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Watch tomorrow because it's going to be a really fun video. And then, of course, join the Discord. Send this to everybody. Have some fun, guys. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.